honestly, my favorite concert, I would say, like Tony Yayo was crazy. Just because, like, I used to listen to him when I was a kid. His G Unit, right? So it's like, wow, this is a big deal.
Hello, and thank you for tuning into Business and Beyond. If you're new here, welcome to the show. And if you're returning, thank you for coming back. Today, we're interviewing DJ Sal, who went from trying out a DJ deck at a house party 6 years ago to now DJing concerts, weddings, nightclubs, and more. If you're an aspiring DJ or curious about the nightlife industry, this episode's for you, and I hope you enjoy. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Business and Beyond, the podcast where we highlight local businesses and learn from their successes. My name is Brian Braga. I am your host today, and we are joined by Salah Hamad, and better known as DJ Sal, from DJing my 19th birthday party to becoming the official DJ of Chop Shop and working with industry legends like Kaylee and Tony Yayo. Salah, thank you so much for being on my podcast. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, Brian. Thank you so much for having me today.
Awesome. How long have you been a DJ for now?
I started I started in summer of 2018. So ever since then. And
Nice. And how did you get started as a DJ? Like, what inspired you to pursue it?
I went to honestly, back in high school, I would just go to the house parties and stuff with my friends, and we'd walk into the parties, and then people were just like, Salah's here, Sal, like, let him control the music, whatever.
Nice.
So I was just kind of controlling the music off my phone.
Yeah.
And I always enjoyed doing it. And one time I went to this house party. I think this was summer of 2018. This is literally why I got started. So I went into this house party, and there was this DJ that was there. He was using like a smaller controller and stuff. And I just went up to him and asked him, like, hey man, do you mind if I just like give it a try? And then he's just like, yeah, why not? And I used it, and he was just kind of looking at me. He's like, you kind of know what you're doing, but like you're natural at this. And I've never seen a controller. I've never used one before, but I kind of knew like I got to drop the song like in certain like timing and stuff like that. And then like people were having a great time. People were coming up to me saying like, Salah, you should actually take this serious. Like you could probably make a career out of it or something. And literally the next day I ordered a controller from Amazon, and I've just literally locked myself in my room for like 2-3 months and just practiced. And then I picked up some skills. I was pretty basic, obviously. And then I went to university, and one of my friends that was there, he was just like, hey, I saw that you are DJing and stuff. My uncle owns this like DJ agency. They specialize in like weddings and events and stuff like that. And just come by to the studio, and would love to have you on the team.
Nice.
And honestly, I'm still with them to this day. Shout out 586 Event Group.
Nice.
Yeah, so they gave me my first ever gig, and it was like a Christmas party. They taught me the basics and stuff like that. I guess they improved my skills and whatever.
Yeah.
And then they sent me off to my first gig, which was it was like a Christmas like corporate party. And then ever since then, I've just been doing ever since that gig, I was just doing more gigs with them and stuff. And then fast forward like 4 or 5 months later, this is like maybe within like 7-8 months of me DJing now, there was this club that was opening in Guelph called Onyx, and they were working with like a promotion group and stuff. They're called Atreo Entertainment. And Atreo Entertainment was looking for a DJ, and they just kind of posted like, hey, we need a DJ for this club in Guelph. We're looking for a DJ. If you're a DJ, can you just submit like a mix or whatever? And I sent them my mix, and I guess they liked it.
Yeah, nice.
And then they brought me onto the team, and that's how I guess I got started in the nightlife industry. So that was
nice.
I was doing more weddings and stuff before, and like corporate parties and whatever. But then that's what got my foot in the door in the nightlife industry. And then
And you've been with Onyx for a while. Are you still DJing there?
No, Onyx actually just closed down. Like
recently. Wow.
Yeah. I was with them under Atreo Entertainment's, like I was Atreo Entertainment's DJ. So anytime they were in the building, I was in the building type of thing.
Yeah.
That went on for about like a year, I want to say, and then COVID came. So this was like 2019, and then 2020 COVID came, slowed everything down, and then we went back in 2021 a little. And then the club was basically like, hey, like you've been with us for a long time. We're really like you. We want to just bring you under our own like wing type of thing. And just
Okay. So
and on a residency type basis.
yeah.
And yeah, I was with them ever like since.
Nice.
And then
Noted.
until they closed down.
Yeah, I didn't even know that that Onyx closed down. For those who don't know, Onyx is like a nightclub in Guelph. Well, I guess it was a nightclub in Guelph. I've only been there a few times. I think one of them was during 12 bars. But I'm not a huge nightlife person. I don't go out too much.
Yeah.
So that's also why I haven't been there very often.
Yeah.
In terms of like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say like spinning at Onyx. I guess really gave me a platform to it kind of helped me build my reputation in Guelph, and then it allowed me to basically get my name out there, and it also allowed me to play at other locations in Guelph, such as you probably know I'm DJing at Frank's, which is literally downstairs from what used to be Onyx. And yeah, they used to bring me in. They brought me in like one time before COVID. I guess they heard about me and stuff through Onyx, and then they brought me in like here and there. I guess it was like one time a month, one time every 2 months type of thing. Yeah. And then later on, they were also just like, hey, you know what? We really like you. We want to bring you in on a residency. And that happened, I think, about a year ago now. Or yeah, I've been with them like on a full-time basis, residency like basis. I want to say like a year, almost 2 years now.
Nice. And do you get a lot of creative freedom in terms of like what you get to play, and then like the set's totally yours, like they don't influence it at all?
No. I mean, like there's some stuff that they told me to just kind of stay away from, and then there's just some stuff there's like that I know, like the people that go to, for example, like the people that went to Onyx are expecting a lot more hip hop, so the owners know that I'm gonna play hip hop and stuff. So
yeah.
But I know it just depends. Honestly, it's a venue thing. I know when I do other clubs, for example, I used to be at Urban Culture, like here and there as well. It wasn't like a residency thing, but I had a lot of freedom out there, and yeah.
Yeah. In terms of, so you keep mentioning like a residency. I really know residencies only from like a medical standpoint of things. Is that something that a DJ residency would be similar to? Is that like a trial period that you do for that nightclub, or how does a DJ residency work?
Well, the residency is just like, for example, like at Frank's, I have the Thursday residency, so I'm there.
Okay, I see. So you just run Thursdays.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I see.
But it's not like I'm there on the Friday or the Saturday type of thing. So it's
okay,
like
right.
My residency is Thursday, so I'm gonna be in on the Thursday.
Okay, so every single Thursday or every single set day is like your day.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I see. And then, who were your early influences in music? Like, who did you look up to? Who did you listen to growing up? Like, what really inspired you to get into this DJing field?
Honestly, I went to a lot of concerts, and seeing a lot of these, like my favorite artists, such as like Future, Travis Scott, Ray Shremmerd. I went to their concert. That was crazy. Like,
I saw you have a photo with them on your SoundCloud.
Yeah, I was on stage with them and stuff. So it like I went to a lot of concerts, and seeing what the DJ was doing there, I don't know. I guess it just kind of sparked something in me to just kind of pursue what I'm doing right now. Yeah.
Yeah. And then how does it feel almost surreal, like now that you're on the other end of it, where you're on stage with some of the bigger artists that you're DJing with, and you're looking down at the crowd, and that was you in there one day. Is that pretty crazy?
Yeah, it's honestly crazy. Like some days, like I'm doing these concerts and I'm just like, okay, it's just another like day, I guess.
Yeah.
But then when I go home, I'm like, oh shit, like I really did this. Like,
shit, I'm kind of a big deal.
Yeah. It's actually a crazy feeling. Like it's and especially when like the artists of that show are all like, oh Sal, you killed it, whatever, and they're just like dapping me up or whatever, and we take pictures and stuff, and then it's something that I'll never forget.
Nice. Yeah, that's amazing to hear, man. How would you say your style or approach to DJing has changed over like the last 6 years that you have been DJing?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. Like, wait, reword it for me.
All right,
Reword it for
fair enough. Like let's say like in the beginning you were making a lot of mixes where it's just like, like top 100 on there. Like did you have a lot of your own style influencing, like if you like a bit more like drill type music, or if like more R&B, like do you have anything you've kind of started leaning towards more of, or more any like kind of changes with your mixes that you've been doing?
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at first I kind of branded myself as a hip hop DJ. So like my mixes that I used to post on SoundCloud, those were all like hip hop, mainly hip hop. And when I started doing more gigs out in Guelph, it kind of just like changed my style of DJing. I still like to consider myself a hip hop DJ. I love hip hop. I listen to a lot of hip hop. I pretty much
Yeah.
listen to hip hop all day. But playing in certain venues, it's allowed me to kind of be versatile with what I do. So for example, now when I'm spinning in Guelph, I'm playing hip hop, top 40, a lot of pop,
Yeah.
um, sometimes country, like stuff like that, like
Yeah.
Latin and whatever. But if you really compared what I'm doing now to what I was before, like back then it was just hip hop. But now it's like I'm kind of versatile with everything.
Nice.
I hope that kind of answered the question.
No, that definitely does.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it like honestly it's more just about having the experience with the venues that kind of helped me do this.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Do you kind of like go into some venues being like, oh yeah, I'm ripping like white people music tonight. Like, let's say you have a wedding. It's like,
Yeah,
and yeah, two super Caucasian people getting married. You're like, oh fuck, I'm playing some fucking Mr. Brightside tonight.
yeah. Oh yeah.
We're getting lit.
Yeah, no, I'll get the itinerary and I'm just looking at the please plays and the please don't plays, and it especially for weddings,
Yeah.
like I kind of know what I'm getting into. But honestly with clubs, like I used to prepare sets a really long time ago, but now I'm literally just walking in, I'm reading the room and I'm just freestyling the whole night.
Dude, that's such a skill to have, because like personally I couldn't. On occasion I get aux for like a car ride, or like I don't know, sometimes a party, and then I'm just super stressed about what I'm playing. I'm like, man, is the crowd gonna like this? And I'm like needing to like, I spend too much time deciding what to play is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like that's such a skill to have. And is that like a skill you learned, like something that you kind of developed over time?
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, it's like I used to prepare a lot, so I kind of got familiar with a bunch of genres. I kind of studied my artists, who to play and who to like not play and whatever. And honestly, reading the room is probably the most important thing as a DJ. A lot of people obviously they care about the transitions and the song selection and stuff, but I think reading the room and knowing what song to drop next,
Yeah.
um, that kind of just determines the whole night, in my opinion.
Yeah. Have you ever had a difficult time with like a tough crowd, or like a time where you had a harder
Oh
time
yeah.
reading a room? Like how do you bounce back from that?
Oh yeah. Like I've had nights where I've played to an empty room. Those are like the worst nights. Honestly, I feel like those nights are harder than like the nights that have the packed rooms and stuff,
Yeah,
because
fair.
like if I'll look at like the 20, 30 people that are on the dance floor and they're just kind of bopping their heads, but I'm used to seeing the filled rooms with crowds jumping up and down. That's what I'm expecting to do, or I guess make those people react, um and they're not. So it's like you kind of get that like
Yeah.
here and there. But yeah, I've had my fair share, I guess, with uh tough crowds.
Yeah,
I've
fair
also
enough.
had like some decently filled like rooms where it's just like the groups of people that are in there, like I can tell like this group of people likes pop, but the group over there that booked this booth and are dropping $2,000 on drinks and stuff, they want to hear hip hop. So it's like how can I play for both? Because once I play for one, the other just kind of maybe leave the building or just kind of stop and I guess just not dance or whatever. So I kind of just in situations like that, I kind of try to play for everyone. But yeah,
Do you find that's pretty doable most of the time, or is it?
just depends on the crowd and who's in the building.
Yeah, okay,
Honestly,
fair.
like for example, when I'm at Frank's, like some people like they really love the pop and stuff, but some people they come up to me and they're asking like, oh, can you play like this hip hop song or whatever, this hip hop artist, and then yeah, I just play some of that, and then if I see that the other group is kind of reacting to the hip hop song, I'm like, okay, so if they like this song, they're probably gonna like this. So
Yeah.
that's just kind of how I go through it.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I know you're a really versatile DJ. Like you still do nightclubs, like weddings, concerts. Do you have a preference? Like what's your favorite type of DJing to pull off?
Honestly, my favorite, like I would say, is the concerts. Is just
Fair.
because I get to work with a crowd. They know what they're there for. Um, for example, like when I say that, I mean like if they're there for a hip hop artist, they want to hear hip hop. It's just less for me to think about, like,
Yeah.
do am I gonna have to play pop, or am I gonna have to play Latin or dancehall or whatever? No, it's really not like that. I just go in, they want to hear hip hop. I'm gonna hit them with the best hip hop tracks, and it's just like usually a short set for the concerts because I'm gonna be working with like openers and maybe
Yeah.
another DJ and stuff like that. And yeah, like I'm sharing a set with everyone, or I'm sharing the time, sorry, with
Yeah.
everyone, and I have my own set. So once I come in with my set, maybe 20, 30 minutes, whatever, if I'm working with the headliner,
Yeah.
like a 20-minute, 15-minute set or whatever, I just come in, hit them with the hardest tracks, the headliner comes on, and then
Yeah.
they just do their thing.
I must say, I feel like having like a really skilled DJ, like right before a concert too, is like really gets you hyped up in the moment too. Because I know sometimes you have a DJ, they're just not hitting the songs, you're not getting hyped up. But when the whole crowd has that energy, you're all vibing together as a unit, and you're like waiting for that headliner to come on, and it's that intensity
Yeah,
building. You're just getting like more and more excited. And like
yeah, it's definitely
having a
true.
really skilled DJ like that as well, it just really makes that concert experience so much better, right?
Oh yeah, definitely agree.
Yeah, I can't even imagine being on the other end of that. You're just like you're pumping your tracks and you're just like looking at the crowd and everyone's vibing and you're like, oh
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
oh
doing
yeah.
that shit.
Especially when like I'm getting on the mic and stuff, and
Yeah,
they're like singing back or like talking back or whatever.
yeah,
It's a vibe. Seriously, like it's a great feeling to be up on stage doing that.
nice. How do you maintain like a balance between creating a unique sound and giving the crowd what they want?
Honestly, it's just, I would say, just kind of sticking to what I like to play, uh, and always remembering that like maybe not everyone likes what I want to play, so I kind of just I literally just have to read the room
Yeah,
and I guess make a judgment on what to play next and stuff. Uh, and depending on how they're reacting, I would switch, or like I would make my transition faster, or slower, just
yeah,
depending on, if for example, like if it's a Taylor Swift song, they're gonna sing the whole thing. I'm not even gonna switch it. But if it's like a hip hop song, they know like the first verse. But once
yeah, fair.
a spring artist, for example, comes in and their verse isn't as popular, I'm gonna switch it. So
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, I would say it's just having to read the room
yeah,
is
fair enough.
super, super key.
Really hard hitting question, man. Drake or Kendrick? Who won the diss track?
Honestly, I really like the Drake song.
Fair.
But the numbers are showing. I'm pretty sure it's Kendrick that's winning in
Yeah.
the stream.
All right,
The
fair.
stream. Yeah, but me personally, I like the Drake song more. I don't really care for the beef, to be
Yeah,
honest.
that's fair.
But the people in the clubs, when they come up to me, they're always asking more. They're always asking more for Kendrick, Not Like Us.
Yeah, Not Like Us was a very popular song. I feel like personally, in terms of like songs on my phone and who I happen to come on my shuffle more, I have Drake more. But
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
terms of yeah, in terms of like the diss track itself, I feel like Kendrick had a lot more, and Not Like Us was very iconic.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like the beef, honestly, so stupid. I feel like if they hopped on a track again, like similar to Poetic Justice or whatever, like as a form of retribution, I feel like it'd be an unstoppable song.
Yeah.
Two
Oh,
powerhouses that are beefing for
absolutely.
no reason. Yeah,
Absolutely. Honestly, after the things that were said in both the tracks, I don't
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
I
think
know
we're
it's already done for. Yeah,
yeah,
it's a dream I have though.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
if you want,
honestly, like I feel like Kendrick made that song in kind of the like the manner of basically, like what I'm trying to say is Kendrick made that song to kind of sound like a club hit,
yeah,
whereas like Drake just kind of wanted to just attack him personally,
yeah.
like,
Okay, fair. Yeah,
and made it sound like it's a great song and
yep.
stuff, but like I wouldn't say it has too much like playability. in the club because of the BPM and stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Well, whenever you're DJing behind Kendrick or Drake, just like slip it to either one of them to stop the beef.
Yeah. Honestly, I was gonna say like that beef has kind of made me more I guess conscious and careful.
Really?
Yeah, like when I'm in Toronto, like I'm like sometimes I'm kind of like
you're favoring Drake.
I kind of know to just not play Kendrick.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then people will ask me like, "Hey, can you play Kendrick and stuff?" Like sometimes when I feel like okay, like maybe I should do it, I'll do it. But like there's instances where I'm just like, maybe not risk and stuff.
Has it fired back? Like has it fired back on you? Like has someone gone?
I've had people like where I played the Kendrick song and you could tell like the diehard Drake fans they're kind of just looking at me and they're just signaling like this, like, yo, cut this off. And then they're looking at me like, yo, cut it off. And I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna switch it during the next hook or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll move on. I don't want
reading the room, dude. That's your job. It's reading the room and adapting, man. Yeah, that's awesome. What's been your favorite gig? Like what's your most memorable gig that you've played so far?
Man, that's probably the toughest question you asked. I really enjoy doing the concerts, like really enjoy doing the concerts, but sometimes when I'm in the clubs, the crowd is just unreal. Yeah. Like the energy's there, they're singing the songs, people are coming up to me on stage complimenting me, wanting to take pictures, stuff like that. I honestly like I don't really have a top favorite one, but like some memorables that I've done, some memorable ones that I've done. Obviously Frank's. Like, love playing there. It's a vibe. Onyx, like, man, Onyx was a vibe. Like during the peak days. Yeah. Man, it used to get crazy in there. I had honestly my favorite concert, I would say, like Tony Yayo was crazy. Just because like I used to listen to him when I was a kid. Yeah. It's G Unit, right? So it's like, wow, this is a big deal. Like this guy's like tapped in with 50 Cent, like Eminem rocks with him, like it's crazy. And he was showing me hella love. Like I'm chilling with him backstage, we're taking pictures. I did two shows with him. I did that Waterloo one, so I was kind of like on a mini tour with him, I'd say. But I did the Waterloo one and the Waterloo show and the Hamilton show. Nice. And yeah, like him and his people were showing me so much love. Yeah. So that one is like one I'll never forget, I would say.
Nice, that's sick. Yeah, I saw on your Instagram, I think it's like one of your pinned videos or whatever. It's like literally Tony Yayo shouting you out. Yeah, saying you're on tour.
Yeah, unreal. And then I really enjoyed, honestly, this one was a crazy one too. I did a Doovie concert. So he's a very popular like Toronto artist. Yeah. But I was basically in charge of the whole concert. So usually when I'm doing concerts, I'm working with another DJ who's maybe responsible for the headliner, or they're working with their own artist that may be opening and stuff. But I was literally in charge of the whole thing. I was working with the openers. I was there with the supporting acts, like under the headliner, and I was there with the headliners. And there was like 3 or 4 like popular names in Toronto, Toronto artists, and they were all at that show too. So it was kind of like a festival almost, but not really. If you kind of get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. When you're working with another DJ, like, are you ever like working at like the control table with them, or is it like you're just switching off depending on who's working what set?
It just depends. Like some DJs, they want to stay up on stage while, for example, me or the other DJs doing their thing. And sometimes they just kind of go and do their own thing. And then they just come back whenever their set is.
Nice, yeah, fair. Have you gotten any like budding friendships or any good like vibes with other DJs because of that? Oh, that's awesome.
I've met a lot of cool DJs in my career.
Nice. And when you're DJing concerts as well, like do they just hand you a set list and it's up to you in terms of like transitioning and like setting that up, or what are the specifics of like DJing a concert? I would
say like for example the Doovie one, like I remember he literally sent me like, I want this song, then this, then this, then this. So it was kind of like super organized. I worked pretty closely with Hood Baby Peppa, so he was also at that concert as well. He was also same thing, like he just kind of gave me like an organized list and stuff. But then I've worked with other artists where it was like they kind of asked me for opinion, like, hey, do
Yeah.
you think this would sound better after this one, or vice versa? So I kind of had like the ability to structure their set like
Nice.
based on like what I think
Yeah.
would hit the crowd like harder, I guess.
And that's like extra credit giving that trust and like
Yeah,
your expertise there too. Like they really
yeah,
trust you in order to like trust how they want their set to come out, right?
yeah.
That's
It's a
awesome.
great feeling, but at the
Yeah.
same time, like I kind of like when they give me the like the organized list and stuff, just
Yep.
because they know their music better than me, I guess.
Yep.
But yeah, like I enjoy doing both. I really
Yeah.
don't mind.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Switching gears a bit, tell us a bit about Chop Shop, because the vibe I'm getting from it is like a little bit like Double XL Freshman, but I think it's like a bit more local. Do you want to dive in a little bit about that? And how did you also land that gig?
So it was with well, he's my manager now,
Yeah.
Jake. So he's running it. So basically he's the head of Chop Shop, I would say. And basically what Chop Shop is it's kind of like a platform for artists to kind of just get on, and they we're shooting them like a music video. And it's like an open mic freestyle, I would say, kind of like the XXL
Yeah.
freestyles that you mentioned. There's also like it's kind of like On the Radar. I don't know if you've seen that one. But yeah, it's I want to say like pretty Toronto based right
Yeah.
now. But obviously we're looking into other countries and stuff like that.
Yeah. Is that up
But
to you to like to find the beat and decide the beat for that, or like do they come in and just give you a beat
no,
for the
so
freestyles?
no, so it's actually like it's their song. Like
Oh, okay, I see, I see.
we're just kind of shooting like a music video,
Yeah.
but we're gonna be getting into like ciphers and
Ah,
stuff like
okay, I
that.
see, I see.
But as of right now, it's just like the artist has a song, they want to shoot a video. Hey, I want it to be an open mic. I'm gonna hit up Chop Shop. So then they come work with us, and then yeah, you've seen the videos.
Yeah, yeah, I have. Nice.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's helped me connect with a lot of artists.
Yeah.
Like it's a great platform for artists to I guess get their work out there and network.
Nice. Yeah, that's sick, man. How do you manage the physical and the mental demands of like working late night and like a high energy performance? Like how do you keep going completely sober from like 8 p.m. to 2 a.m.?
A Red Bull.
Nice. Sponsor
No,
this sponsor
honestly,
this man immediately.
immediately, please. No, but like honestly, all jokes aside, this like sometimes I'm drained. Like
Yeah.
I'm working in the day, and then I have maybe a window of 3 hours to kind of just like recharge, and then I gotta make my way to the next gig, and or sorry, like my gig at night.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Red Bull helps. Getting a good night's sleep helps a lot. But to be honest, I'm barely sleeping. As you know, I'm literally coming at 2, 3 a.m. back
Yeah.
home, and super tired. My ears are ringing. Like
Yeah.
it's hard for me to sleep, and then I gotta be up for work the next day in the morning. So it's like sometimes it's really tiring, but like sometimes I'll just walk in. People are showing me like hella love. They're dapping me up at the door. Yo, Sal, good thing you're here, man. We're ready for you. Stuff like that. They're
Yeah.
just showing compliments and stuff. That gets me fired up right
Yeah.
away. I'm like, yo, like I gotta. They're here for me. I gotta give them a nice performance. So it's honestly it depends on the energy of the building, I guess, and the people. Um and yeah, just Red Bull.
Yeah. Nice. Always have like one of those Red Bull fridges just like behind the
Oh,
behind the
I
DJ
wish.
deck. Yeah.
I wish. No, like literally at Frank's, like I walk in and I set up and stuff. I walk to the bar. They have a Red Bull thing ready for me
Yeah.
because I'm there, like every single night. Like as soon as I set up, I walk over to the bar. I don't even have to say anything. I just look
Yeah.
at the bartender. They're like, "I got you." And they just
Perks of the
give me the
residency.
coolest Red Bull in the building, man. And
Yeah.
they just send it over to me. And I'm just walking back on stage, crack it open, ready for my set.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
I'm just
Yeah.
literally DJing, sipping it, whatever. And yeah,
Yeah, perks of the residency.
yeah.
Yeah. What's your process for preparing for a big event compared to like a smaller event? Like, let's say you're preparing to, well, you said you don't prepare much for like Frank's because you just read the room, but like, how do you prepare for a concert versus like a wedding versus like just like a nightclub gig? Like, what's your difference in preparations?
Honestly, the only thing I prepare for nowadays is the concerts and the weddings, especially the weddings, I would say. And I'll break it down. So the weddings, I gotta know what to play and what not to play because it's different on a client basis. So for example, the couple that's getting married, they told me they don't want to hear, I don't know, random artists at the top of my head right now, like I don't know, Taylor Swift. If they
Yeah.
don't want to hear Taylor Swift, I'm not gonna play Taylor Swift. So I'm gonna make a note of that, like saying like don't play any Taylor Swift. But they want to hear like this list of songs. I literally put it in its own separate playlist, and I I basically build off. If it's not, for example, like the dancing part, like the reception is the list is not as long as how long the reception will be. I kind of have to basically build off of that list
Okay.
that they gave me. So
Yeah.
if I can see they gave me like Justin Bieber, they gave me Usher, they gave me like I don't know like pop artists and stuff. I'm gonna assume they want to hear pop, so I'm gonna like they want to hear like throwbacks, so like LMFAO and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like I don't know, and Rihanna and
Yeah.
like all
You're
that
quick with
stuff.
these guys too. A lot
Oh
of
yeah,
people out, like, yeah.
yeah, but like with weddings, it's honestly weddings is the most preparation. For concerts, it's the only thing I really have to prepare for is making sure that I have the artist's tracks, and what's like. Sometimes I'll go into my set, like my concert set. Let's say I'm working with the headliner. So I'm on stage right before the headliner. I have maybe about 10-15 minutes. If it's in a scenario like that, I have my list of songs that I'm gonna play. But sometimes, like I've done it in like a freestyle basis, just kind
Yeah.
of reading what the crowd wants. But usually in a set like that, I kind of just prepare it. But if it's like a concert where I'm running the whole show type of thing and I'm working with the openers, I'm making sure like all my openers have their own separate crates.
Yeah.
When I say crates, I mean like playlists and stuff.
Yeah.
So I make sure everyone has their songs. I make sure everyone has it in order, and then I have like my set of hip hop songs that I like. I'm gonna consider playing and stuff. But sometimes I'll literally prepare my entire sets. But usually in a scenario like that at the concerts, I just kind of freestyle the whole thing unless I'm I'm playing like right before the headliner. And
Yeah.
usually when I'm working with a headliner, they want the crowd to be super hyped up. So I know my selection of however many songs it will be, it's gonna be like the top, like the highest energy possible
Yeah.
in those songs. But with clubs, honestly, like I don't even remember the last time I really put together a set for a club. But like obviously, like right before I go to the gig, I'm literally just downloading what's new, and any other songs that I'm thinking of playing for
Yeah.
the night that I may not already have on my laptop. I have like over, I want to say like 10,000 songs.
Damn.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Nice. Do you ever get a like writer's block, like where you're freestyling and you have like two songs before you're out of songs and you're like, holy shit, I can't think of anything?
Yeah, yeah.
How do
But
you deal with
that's
that?
that's that's what makes a good DJ.
Yeah.
That's what
Working under
honestly.
pressure.
Yeah, you gotta know
Yeah.
how to handle that. Like sometimes I'll be at a gig and it's just like, oh, I don't know what to play next. Um, so like, yeah, it's just like you gotta just work under pressure. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
All right, fair.
I've definitely dealt with it before.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. Have you ever thought about expanding your brand at all? Like I know you dipped into merch a little bit. I have some DJ Sal merch. But have you ever thought about producing your own music or collaborating with other artists? Have you ever expanded or thought about expanding your brand a little bit to branch down some other roads?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm starting to learn a little bit of production. So
Nice.
I know the basics. I honestly my like long-term dream as a DJ is I want to get into the production side. I want to be able to like play my own songs at the
Yeah.
venues to go play at. And then I also want to be working firsthand with artists as well.
Nice.
because I know a whole bunch of artists. Honestly, I would say I have a pretty solid network with a lot of like good local talent.
Yeah.
So if I made beats or whatever, like made tracks, I could easily send it off to them and stuff. So yeah, I definitely want to dive into production.
Nice.
And like right now I just know the basics. I'm taking my time studying and stuff, but it's a whole different skill than
Oh
DJing.
yeah.
Like I know some stuff that are in production just because I'm familiar with the DJ stuff now.
Yeah.
It's helped me. It's really allowed me to understand the production side a little bit faster and I guess better. But yeah, I would say I'm definitely gonna get into production down the road.
Yeah.
And then I wanna basically just work with an artist as their own DJ. So for example, if I produced a song for this artist, I'm gonna go with them to these venues when they have them coming in as a host or whatever. I'm gonna be spinning for them when they're in the building, type of thing.
Yeah. Nice. That's sick. That's a good goal to have as well.
Yeah, it's something that I really enjoy. Honestly, I just really like working with artists and stuff.
Yeah.
But I also really like playing for the public.
Yeah.
Playing like DJing at these venues and stuff. But I also I want what's next. I really want to get into making my own songs. I want to make my own sounds. And I want people to listen to what I send out to the world, basically.
Nice. That's awesome. And I do have to ask, Logic Pro, FL Studio, or Ableton? Which fan are you, or other?
Honestly, I'm getting more familiar with FL Studio.
Nice.
Like I've looked at Logic and stuff. I know they're all great softwares. Like a lot of my producer friends, they all told me use Ableton. It's much better in the long run and stuff. But I feel like as of right now, for where I'm at, I'm finding it easier to I'm finding the production process, the learning process easier to basically understand in FL Studio.
Nice. I have Logic Pro X on my laptop. I had a dream fucking half a decade ago of producing rap beats. I tried learning it, dude. It's so hard, man. It's so hard to
honestly,
learn.
I used Logic for a little bit, and I was just having, I guess, trouble using it. I wasn't really familiar with the software and stuff and all that, so it's kind of pushed me away from it.
Yeah.
But with FL Studio, I can just kind of look at like the buttons and whatever in the software, and I just know what they mean. Like I don't know. I guess it's just like a personal thing.
Yeah.
But I definitely think for me, as of right now, FL Studio is easy for me to use. But I definitely want to explore the Ableton, the Logic softwares and stuff like that.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, I've also heard Ableton's actually really good too, and I'm kind of having like regrets with Logic because it's such a harder one to learn. So I don't know. Maybe if I pick it back up, I dabble like once every couple of years to see if I can do it. I was fiddling with it this week actually, and I made a beat that I don't think was utter trash, to be fair. So it's not going anywhere. It's for my ears only, but it wasn't bad. So that's progress.
Hey, send it to me.
Yeah. Hop on it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No one's hopping on it.
Yeah, no, honestly, I have a good story about well, I don't know if it's really a story, but it's really my only I would say, like, I guess my only time in a studio. It was with it was with me and with two of my other producer friends. And I would always I always told them that like I always wanted to get into production and stuff, but I just don't know how to use the software. Honestly, for me, it's just a matter of learning the software, how to click the sounds in, and that's what's going to take me to that's what's going to make me a producer.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I definitely have the ideas for it, or like the ideas for what I want to hear in the song. I know the sounds that I want to use and stuff. So we went into the studio, and they were kind of just like, okay, so like, what's the vibe on this one? So I was like, okay, let's do like a Detroit/Flint type of beat, and I want it to sound like this. So I was just telling them like, make the 808 sound like this. I want the hi-hat to sound like this. I want the piano to sound like this. And they were just like, okay. So then they were just clicking the stuff in, and we're listening to it, and we're like, okay, this is solid. We never finished the beat, but I started sending it to like rappers and stuff that I knew. They're like, holy shit, this is your first beat? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, man, you got to take it serious, because this is crazy. Like it's that, like, hearing that honestly was something that I want to say I needed, because it kind of gave me the, I guess, how do I say it, like
the
it kind of
push?
gave me the push. Yeah, perfect. It gave me the push to pursue production.
Well, that's what got you into DJing in the first place, right? Someone was telling you that you're good at it, and now production. Clearly you have the creative artistic vision. It's just like putting that into the production of, like, through FL Studio, or the learning the DAWs is just so hard, and that's just such a skill that takes so much time. But like, if you having the vision is one thing, just executing it is something that you can learn so easily. So, well, not so easily. It's something you learn hardly.
Yeah, it's definitely something. Yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely something that I have to put time aside for. And just practice.
Yeah, I know you mentioned you have like a massive network now. Like, you've met a ton of artists, a ton of DJs. How important is networking in the DJ world, and what advice would you give someone trying to build a connection in the industry?
That's like the most important thing, honestly. Networking is just crucial for everything. Like, that's how you really get your foot in the door at, I want to say, 90% of the clubs. Like, some clubs, they really care for like the actual talent of the DJ, but the truth really is sometimes they don't care about who they bring into the building. They care more about how many people they can bring in, type of thing. So kind of look at who they're tapped in with, and how many people they can bring on a night, type of thing. But yeah, it's networking is very, very important, especially in the DJ game. Like, that's really how you meet other DJs. That's how you get gigs, honestly. It's how you meet like other professionals in the industry. So let's say like producers, because you honestly, you never know who's in the building. Really, I've met a lot of artists that were just there at like my gig, and they're just like, oh, you're actually like really, like, you're cool, like you're playing really good music, you're a dope DJ. Let me get your Instagram. So then we just tap in right there, and so it's like, honestly, and then later down the road, I'm working with these artists. So honestly, it's a very, very important aspect of the nightlife industry in general.
Nice. And what's the best piece of advice you received in your career so far, and how has it shaped your journey as a DJ?
The best advice is basically just knowing my worth.
Nice.
A lot of DJs have actually said that to me, and they're just like, know your worth. Don't let people lowball you. Don't let people just like take advantage of you, stuff like that. And it's really helped me in basically becoming the DJ that I am today. Because if I didn't really realize my worth, I guess I would just I wouldn't be excelling as a DJ.
Nice, that's awesome. And like, let's say we have a listener, they're interested in being a DJ, but they have no idea what steps to take, or like how to find their first controller. What are the steps they should take in order to find their first DJ deck, to booking their first gig? Like, how would you recommend taking that first initial steps?
I get a lot of people that ask me this, like so many. They'll literally come up to me as I'm DJing in the club. Yo, Sal, like, this is so cool. Do you mind if I watch? And then they'll sit back behind me, and they're just like, okay, I'm kind of thinking of becoming a DJ now. How do I start? So then, honestly, my advice is just like, well, I don't know. Yeah, it's advice, but it's also like, I guess the process of, I'll just tell you how I learned. Basically, I used a lot of YouTube. I learned from scratch. Like, no one taught me anything. Like, there's some stuff down the road that I learned, like the more advanced stuff that I practiced with other people, and I got their insights on it and stuff. But to really just get into DJing, it's going to be a lot of practice, a lot of time that you put aside to just learning how to DJ. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and yeah, like right now I'm subscribed to record pools. So basically that's like a platform to download music for DJ. So it comes with like intros, and there's some with like remixes, clean, dirty editions, whatever. But I'm subscribed to that now because like I'm getting the gigs and stuff like that. While when I wasn't, like when I was just starting fresh, I was just using YouTube to MP3. So it's kind of like the bootleg way. But yeah, I ripped a lot of songs off YouTube and stuff to kind of just get me started. And I use Serato. There's so many different other DJ softwares, but a lot of people in the industry, they use Serato. So I kind of just went ahead and got started with Serato. And then for a controller, realistically, you really don't need the big flashy ones. They all do the same thing. Like, and that's me being completely honest. I can show up to a club and play with a controller this big. Like one of the small little Hercules is the brand. It's literally this big. Like maybe like just a little bit bigger than my phone. And I'll literally do a whole gig like that if I really wanted to. But that's just me telling you that they all do the same thing. I got started. I still have this controller to this day. It's kind of like my backup. But when I do the gigs that are like a little bit smaller, or I'm working with a smaller table, because I got to consider the tables that I'm putting my equipment on. I use the DDJ SB3, and it's literally I don't know how to. It's maybe like I'm pretty zoomed in right now.
How many Subway subs long is it?
I want to say like 1 foot long, maybe.
All right, cool.
I might be wrong though. But yeah, like I ripped clubs apart with that. I did some great performances just with a small controller, and then it's like thousands of dollars cheaper than the big ones. And like honestly, the big ones, they're just flashier. They're bigger, they look cooler. Like the wheels are bigger, so I don't know. Like it's not really necessary, but if you're just getting started as a DJ, I would not recommend getting the big ones right away. I would say get the smaller ones, save the money, practice on that, master that, because once you've mastered the small ones, you basically know the basic knowledge, like the fundamentals. I want to say not basics, because you could be advanced, super intermediate with like the small controller, but like that, like mastering that small controller is gonna help you master the fundamentals of being a DJ. So that way, like once you go to these clubs, they ask you to play on CDJs, which is like the club industry thing. Sometimes like I'll walk into these clubs, I'm not bringing anything. I have to play with what's there. And like I don't have this equipment, but I know how to use it because I've used other equipment that may be similar to it, or the same buttons are on the other ones. But like for example, like a play button on a small controller is gonna do the same thing as a play button. Like you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Once you master the fundamentals on the small stuff, you can work ahead and get into the big. Is what I'm trying to say.
I got you. So YouTube University, and really master like your introductory deck. But getting that first gig, because I know honestly it's like putting yourself out there and for everything. Getting your first gig, I know you said you knew somebody, but like let's say I'm fresh in a new town, like what would you recommend? Like go to my local nightclub, see if I can strike up a conversation. Like if I get there early enough, not while he's blasting music or whatever. Just like see who I can meet and where I can meet them. Like just network that way, and then try to get a gig.
Honestly, with today's, like I want to say with today's day and age type of thing, like posting on social media it's something that I need to be doing more. But because I'm not a new DJ, I haven't been doing so much. But if I was to do it now, I feel like it would definitely help me. If you're a newer DJ, I would honestly say like just record your mix, because or just record like a transition, because what helped me get started is like no one knew I was a DJ. I was posting Snapchat videos on my story, and then one day I kind of just built the courage to drop it on Instagram, and then that's how I had my friend reach out to me at university, and he's like, hey, my uncle owns this agency, and that's like literally just do that video, like you never know who's gonna watch it, right?
Yeah.
So I definitely think videos like just TikToks. TikTok is huge nowadays,
Yeah, it
especially for
is.
DJs. I see a lot of videos and like of DJs just doing a simple transition and stuff, and they're getting comments and stuff. They're getting a lot of likes, and yeah, like once I guess club owners see that, you can kind of use that as leverage, I would
Yeah.
say. But yeah, like even if that's just one thing.
Yeah.
If you want like another like thing, I would say maybe not. It's not even just about posting the videos. It's like you said, going to the places. For example, going to this bar at, let's say they open at 10. Go there before the doors open, or like type of thing. Talk to a promoter or whatever at like 9:30.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, I'm a DJ, like I'm an up and coming DJ or whatever, or just a DJ that's looking to get into the nightlife industry and whatever, and I'm looking to get some gigs. They're probably not going to give you the prime nights, let's say the Fridays, the Thursdays, the Saturdays, or whatever. You're probably going to have to spend on like a Wednesday or
Yeah.
like a Tuesday or whatever. They're probably going to use that as an opportunity to hear like what you've got, like you basically hear your skills, but they're also going to judge it on how many people you can bring out or how many people you can keep in the building.
Ah, okay. Yeah, fair.
Yeah, on an off night.
Yeah.
So let's say you do a really good job on the Wednesday or whatever. If you can, like, if you do that, that'll really set you up for, I guess, what's next.
Yeah, because your job at the end of the day is like really just like keeping the vibe in the place and keeping people in the building, right? Like that's really what you're doing.
Yeah,
Nice.
absolutely. But other than that, it's networking, posting mixes, I would say, like make a SoundCloud, drop a mix, and yeah, just see where it goes. Send that out to like the venues, like the owners or the promoters or whatever, whoever's in charge of booking the DJs, just send that out to them and ask them to give it a listen. Ask your friends to push your like DJ videos or whatever. I know like my circle of friends, they really pushed my stuff out, and
Yeah.
like I'm super grateful for them. And yeah, like just I guess just keep working at it, and it'll eventually come.
Nice.
And the first few gigs are probably gonna be free. That's like
Yeah.
my I guess disclaimer for
Yeah,
new
fair.
DJs. Your first ones are they're either gonna be really cheap or they're gonna be absolutely free. But those nights are really gonna set you up for what's next. Like
Yeah.
like as much as you want to get paid and whatever, it's something that I've always like kept in the back of my mind, is that the money comes later.
Nice.
The
Yeah.
money's not just gonna appear right there firsthand. All that stuff is gonna come later, and
Yeah.
it'll come in the most unexpected ways too.
Yeah, and that really applies everywhere too. It's just like that consistency, and like you everyone has the shitty end of the deal at when you're beginning at anything, right? It's like you're always starting at the very bottom of the totem pole, and you're doing the grunt work, and then like that consistency and building it up, like eventually you make it to the top, and like you've grown substantially in like the last 6 years. Like it's crazy to see where you've come up, and you're like a walking embodiment of consistency and doing the work, and then like getting the results from the work. So that's stellar advice for anyone who's listening who wants to be a DJ. Amazing advice to be given to them. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, do you still have merch, by the way? Like, if anyone wants to get merch, is that something you're still doing, or is that temporarily paused?
I did that for like a couple months.
Yeah,
It went well. I won't lie. It went like pretty decent. Like
yeah,
people bought it and stuff, and they're wearing it and whatever. And then I kind of just stopped because it was just during COVID. Like
fair.
like it was harder to push my stuff out. And in my head, it was kind of like I can't push my stuff out if I'm not performing. It's
Yeah,
not like a brand or whatever. So it's like I gotta just be out. Let's say at this venue, people see me, I'm wearing this hoodie or whatever. They ask me what the logo is, or they recognize my logo. They want to get one. So it's kind of like it kind of related to me showing face, I would
yeah,
say,
fair.
venues and stuff. And during that time where I came to the decision of pausing it, I just like things were just really slow during COVID. Like it
Yeah,
was a tough time, and yeah, I just paused it ever since. But I've had a lot of people reach out to me like, "I'll bring it back, bro,"
yeah,
and they'll see me wearing it, and they're like, I swear you didn't release this one. And I'm like, oh, I didn't. So it's kind of
yeah, you have some sleeper pieces.
Yeah, like I have some stuff that I made just for myself, and they're just like,
fair.
you gotta drop this. Like, I'll buy it right away. And
Yeah.
it's like, honestly, hearing that people want the merch to come back, it's like it's a great feeling, but at the same time, it's also encouraging me to maybe re-release the stuff again. So I don't know. It's something. Yeah, no. So right now it's not out. It's just paused, but I definitely want to look into bringing it back.
Nice. Well, if you do, make sure you let me know. I'm not gonna lie, I outgrew my pieces. Like I still have the long sleeve, but it's very tight on me. The sweater, I got like a teal baby blue sweater, super nice. Went to my girlfriend because I made the mistake of getting a small, and then I grew. Yeah, and I get.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know for sure.
Good stuff. Nice. Well, thank you so much for hopping on the podcast today, man. This is a great conversation. Do you have some social media you want to plug, or if someone's looking to book you for an event, do you have like a website, or just reach out to you on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter? Like, where are you at? Where can we find you?
Honestly, just my Instagram. I would say just DJ Sal and then an underscore. So DJ Sal underscore. But other than that, yeah. Like you'll find my email there too. So like if you want to email me for bookings and stuff, I don't mind. You can also reach out to my manager, Jacob Vet. He's plugged in my bio as well, for bookings and stuff. And also give Chop Shop a follow. So
Nice.
Chop Shop, that's at Chop Shop Canada. We're dropping a lot of freestyles and stuff on there, and Volume 3 is going to be coming out very, very soon.
Nice, good stuff.
Yeah. Sweet. Other than that, thank you so much for having me. This is like my podcast ever, and I honestly, nice. I really. Yeah.
Dude, thank you for coming on. This is a great conversation. And then for anyone still listening as well, thank you for listening to Business and Beyond. If you're looking for me at all, that is at Mortgage Guy Brian or at Mortgage Guy Bry on Facebook and TikTok, and then Instagram's at Mortgage Guy Brian. And then hit me up for some shitty beats or a mortgage. I do either or. Awesome.